welcome everybody to another episode of Foodie with Trudy. I'm your host, Trudy. It's the Champions League week. The Champions League is back. We're happy. We're overjoyed, really. We always love the Champions League, the greatest club competition in world football. We're here to talk about our predictions and our expectations. The main question being who's going to win the Champions League first between Man City and PSG, the two oil teams in the competition. I have Skip here, a Chelsea fan. Unfortunately, we couldn't get our Liverpool fan on board, so we have an imposter. We have a Man U fan here to talk about the Champions League, even though we're not in the Champions League, but that's okay. We have Kachi.
We're here for football heritage.
But it's all good. It's all good. So I'm going to have Skip talk first, since he's a Chelsea fan and Chelsea is in the Champions League. Before we go into the details of the groups and our expectations and who we expect to qualify for the group, that's the main question for the episode. Who do you think is going to win the Champions League first between Man City and PSG?
To be honest, that's a hard question. But if I'm going to pick, PSG.
Interesting.
Because what they have done, the way they've rearranged like their front office and what they're going for now is going to be like give it 2 years and PSG will be in another Champions League final. Because
2 years?
Yeah, give them to this year and next year.
Messi will still be balling like that in 2 years and all.
I can tell you they will have cleared Messi out. They will have cleared Messi out and they will have cleared Messi out and Neymar too will be out. That I can assure you. Because their new sport director, God, I cannot forget his name. This guy is brilliant. When it comes to identifying talent and looking for a way to team to play, it's just too brilliant. So I'm looking at that and I'm like, oh, okay.
The guy's name is Luis Campos.
Yeah, I just have more faith in him and the way the team is going to build with all the money and all the resources he's going to have behind him is going to be incredible. But again, just because I say PSG, that doesn't mean Man City doesn't have a chance. They have Guardiola, they have that crazy squad. Although, I don't think they're as good this year. No team is as good as they were last year, except for Arsenal, which seemed better, but that's another conversation.
Yeah.
But Man City too don't look that good. But the funny thing is that most time when people win Champions League is when you don't expect them to go win it. 90% of the time, that's what happens. You don't expect them to go win it. I don't think they can win it this year. But maybe that's when they will go pull a rabbit out of the hat and win it, and boom, that would be. But if I'm going to bet, I'm going to bet on PSG.
Not to throw you off course, yeah. I have a question that popped up based on what you said. I'm going to throw the question to Kachi, actually. So it's funny you said no team is as good as they were last year, but the Premier League spends 1.9 billion, right? Like they are the highest spenders, so they bought a lot of players. So how is it that they're not as good as they were the previous year? Kachi, can you try and explain this?
I think based on current form, a lot of the teams are still, you can pretty much say they are still in preseason form, if I can say that, especially the big teams that went far in the Champions League last season. I think they literally had almost just a month off, so you can see that they are still rusty. For me personally, I think the Man City team is worse off because I think their front was a little bit more fluid. When they had Sterling and those other guys. But I think now everything going through Haaland and probably Julian Alvarez, people know that, okay, that's where the threat is going to come from. So, but I think a lot of the Premier League teams, once you start entering October, just before the World Cup, that's when you see them hit peak form. Because a lot of these guys want to make sure they play for their country, no doubt.
So who do you think? Do you think City, or are you like Skip and you think PSG is going to win first?
I think Yaya Toure would. I think he's the one that did the UEFA Champions League draw, and I think he kind of implied to it that I think my guy has lifted the cost on Pep. So I expect Man City within either this season or next season to win the Champions League. But I think also they need to, for them to do it, Pep has to be pragmatic. Enough of this trying to be a purist and play till the very end. Sometimes you just have to some games realize that you may be the weaker team, but the goal is to win the game, right? So I
He has
think
to summon his inner Mourinho and
exactly.
just I'll defend this 1-0.
Exactly. All right. And I know it's not in his nature, but sometimes if he wants to keep suffering as he has suffered and he keeps playing as a purist, he's gonna keep losing. So I think for me, once you get into the later stages of the competition where it's like one mistake, you're out of the competition, they have to be clinical. Like you have to be deadly. And I think that's where he's going to rely on a lot of these his squad players like Gundogan and all these other guys that don't play full 90 minutes. He's going to need those guys to pick up form. But I always say this season is going to be tricky because it depends on who comes back from the World Cup fit, right? Or who comes back without injury. Like for me, I expect Neymar to come back from this World Cup and is injured again. That's just like clockwork with Neymar. So for me, my money is on Man City to win the Champions League.
And as
At
we
least
said in our chats,
within the next 2 years. So I expect them this year at the bare minimum, they need to get to the final. Or the season is a failure, in my opinion.
and as we said in our chats, Haaland is not even going to the World Cup, so he should be as good as he is. He's going to be fresher than everybody that goes to the World Cup.
Here's
So that's
the thing,
another
right?
dangerous
Haaland
thing.
always have like injury problem.
Does he?
Yeah, he always
I
like
don't follow
at least,
Bundesliga like that. So I
yeah,
don't
he's
know.
he always have this. When you are built the way Haaland is built, there's no way you can be that tall, that fast, that agile, So there's always like a multiple here, a multiple there for his age, which shouldn't be happening. So he will still get, again, it's not as if he's going to miss like 50% of the season like Kante, but it will still miss, again, Haaland will still miss, and that's why I don't understand why Sterling and Jesus was sold, because it will still miss at least 30% of the season for them. So
let's talk a little bit about the PSG squad. I was on record at the beginning of our first episode. This was before they made a lot of their signings, saying that their squad isn't as impressive as a lot of people think, that it's just the front three. And since then, Ramos is in here like a brand new signing. He basically didn't play last year, and he's pulling up trees, and they signed Renato Sanchez. I'm surprised no one went for Renato Sanchez all this time. And Vitinho as well. So they're actually looking pretty good.
Vitinho is one of the best midfielders I've seen this season.
There you go. That's what I'm saying. And they're looking good.
So I've watched all their. I watched Monaco. I watched before Monaco too. Yeah, I watched their last week game too. And Vitinho, when he didn't play against Monaco, you could see someone was missing. So you can see that there, like if someone was missing, and like so he's one of the best midfielders I've seen this season. I'm just saying this season. And after that is the Onana dude. The Onana dude at Everton.
Okay, I was going to say, do they have another Onana in PSG?
So that he has been really impressive. So and Renato Sanchez to coming from bench has been decent. But talking about Ramos hasn't been good this year.
He hasn't? He scored a couple of goals, no?
Ramos hasn't. Sergio Ramos hasn't been good this year.
Said his first and last name.
No, to be sure, we're talking about the same player. He hasn't been good this year, and I just have a feeling towards the end of the season they might move him out of the team.
Damn, that bad? Yeah. I don't watch.
I won't be surprised because for what he's paid, my guy has probably not even played up to 15 games for them.
No, he was injured definitely the whole of last season. And that's why I said it's like a brand new signing with them. But then again, it's they're playing.
He has been making mistakes like keeping people on when the line, because they're playing three at the back now. They're playing the same thing Chelsea's playing, but like instead of flat three, they're playing two with Messi behind them. Ramos has not been on the same line as the other two. He's still playing as if he's the one leading the back line, while Marquinhos is leading the back line. So, yeah.
So you think it's the weak link?
It's the weak link because again, when 2 out of 3 are in sync, the last one that is not syncing with the other two, that's the weak link. It doesn't matter if you're making the correct decision or not. You need to be on the same line, the same rhythm with like the other two. That's why it's so important. That's one of the most important things when you're playing back three. So when they remove Ramos, there's this dude they have. Oh God, I think he played today. There's this new dude they have, their central back. This is the first time I've seen him. Maybe he's not new to PSG, but this is the first season I've seen him. But I think he will take over. Let's see.
I think Man City is good. I personally think Man City is going to win the Champions League this season. Like, I don't see anybody stopping them.
But again, it's too early to call Champions League winners at this point of the season.
No, it's not. It's not.
Okay.
It's not. Because let's be real. Last season, Real Madrid
I actually think it's too early for Champions League this season more than any other season.
Because of World Cup?
Because of the World Cup. There's so many things. Like, I honestly think this season is such a weird season. We might actually see a first-time Champions League winner. That's how weird I think this season. Because I think a lot of players, the motivation now is for November World Cup. And then, so I think we're having 2 seasons in one. So there's the first season where we're playing till November, and then World Cup will come. Some people will get injured. Some people, all of a sudden, that are maybe 1 year left on their contract, would get tapped up by another team. So I think for me, the motivation on the second half of the season for a lot of these players will be gone. Right? So for me, I honestly feel like whoever can build a huge lead in the league, it will help them. But for Champions League, when you now come back, literally you're starting Champions League again in December. So some squads will be severely depleted. And by December, it's like that's when you'll be deciding your group standing.
Your group standing, yeah.
Yeah, if you don't qualify out of your group, like when your first 4 games, you're screwed in Champions League. you are screwed. Like, there's no 2 ways of putting it.
Come join us in Europa.
Just secure the first 4 wins and, like, because you don't want to be playing those crazy games, But let's see how I'm sure they will adjust the futures and all that. Let's see how they adjust it,
But even when they adjust it, English teams are the ones that end up suffering first because England will never adjust anything. And then Spain and other leagues will adjust to help their teams. England will be like, we're playing. If you're playing 2 games every 2 days in December, nobody cares. So,
it's tradition. So it's funny you guys say that it's impossible to predict Champions League this early, but that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to go group by group quickly.
We can look at the group. We can look at the group and figure out who is going to make it out or not, and we'll be 90% right. But going ahead and saying who is going to win, because the draws also is part of the lucky this thing in Champions League, the draws and who you're going to play next and all that. If PSG go and now play Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern, Man City on their way, are we going to say, oh yeah, they are going to win again? That's what I'm saying.
But the person who is going to win at the end of the day, no matter who they play. Though.
Oh no, think
about it. You could have a favorable draw, but still, bro. Remember when Liverpool won it? Remember how many people they played? They played all the tough people, and Real Madrid as well. Last year, they played everybody that was tough. Liverpool had an easy route, and look what happened in the finals. Right. So if you're going to win it, you're going to win it.
No, see, last season the finals was played as soon as Real Madrid beat Man City. They should have just given them the Champions League, in my opinion. The way they beat Man City, the way they beat Chelsea, the way they beat Man City. After that, you might as well just and PSG, you should have just given them the cup after that.
Nothing could stop them. Nothing.
I'm sorry.
Nothing.
Like literally at that point, if you had played the World Cup the following week, Benzema would have probably won the World Cup of France. That's how much informed those guys were at that point, man.
And at the time of recording, they haven't lost any game in La Liga as well. They're perfect in La Liga.
I don't think so.
Yeah, they're perfect in La Liga.
No. But they haven't been good. It's just 2-1, 3-2, 1-0. They haven't hit top form yet. Rudiger is still on bench coming in 87th minute, 88th minute, But yeah.
Well, let's take a look at the groups. We'll start with Group A. Group A is a very interesting one. Ajax, Liverpool, Napoli, Rangers. Do you have... I think it's funny. Liverpool is a very funny club this season so far. They haven't been up to par, but everybody still believes that, it's only a matter of time before they kickstart this season and all that. So what do you think? Which 2 are qualifying from this group?
Shall I go?
Yeah, you can go.
I would say Napoli and Liverpool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Napoli has been good. Here's the thing: Liverpool will make it out of that group. Come rain, come sunshine.
They should not come to Europa, please. They should make it out.
And Ajax, they've sold basically their whole team, so I don't think they would do anything reasonable this year. That's just me. They've sold their whole team, so I don't think they are as good. And also, they have made their coach is even out of the their coach is out of the league. So yeah, it is what it is. So, but like, I don't think Ajax are going to do anything. Rangers will pop off and puff, and that's that. But I'll go with Liverpool and Napoli.
Sidetrack quickly. What do you think about Nunes? I gotta say, personally, I haven't seen him play so far.
He's worrying. He's a good player. He's not a bad player the way people are making him seem like he's a bad player. And Liverpool fans are like, oh, he spoiled the way we're playing. He does that, he did that, he did that.
The way we're playing.
Yeah, the way we used to play and all that. And I'm like, no, that's not it. Every player in your team, you have to find a perfect balance of how they play together. It's not his fault that the coach haven't found a way of playing with him that fit the other three. And this is why, like, every one of us usually say, like, we used to say Mane was the key attacker in that Liverpool team.
Clutch.
It might not be the one scoring most of the goals, making the most, but we all know the first person to press, the one that is running around, running behind. We all know who that is. And, like, there's no way you're going to sell such an important player and you won't miss it. It's impossible. Even look at Sterling and Jesus that are not as important. Man City sold them. They still miss those players. You cannot remove an important player from a team and you won't miss them. It's impossible. You cannot buy I don't care if you buy like a better player, but you need to fit, like the team has to fit all around and adjust their play. The system has to change a little bit and all of that. So again, he's not a bad player. He will still score goals. But they just need to look for ways. They need to look for a better way of playing. That means all the runs, what was his name? Salah will be running most times. Nunes will make that run. So Salah has to find another angle of scoring. You know the way Salah used to run diagonally back when this thing? Nunes is the one making that run now. Then when Nunes is there, Salah can make that run. He has to figure another way. Because before, Mane and this thing, they would create space for my Salah to make that run and start swing. Nunes is a traditional striker.
Yeah.
He's going to make that run. So that lane is closed. Salah has to look for another way. And that's why, I haven't seen Salah start this year. But if you go look at his stat, I'm sure Salah will have created more chances for his team than actually creating more chances for him, rather than like the amount of chances he has gotten to score. He would have created more chances for his team to score rather than him having those chances. That's one of the things he will have to adapt to. And Diaz, instead of every time trying to cut in and do Coutinho, he needs to figure out another way of actually like getting the ball to the striker. So they just need to figure out how to, and also they have injury problems and all that. So they will be okay.
Okay. Group B. Group B, I don't think I'm going to be watching any games here. We have Porto, Atletico, Leverkusen, and Club Brugge. Based on reputation, I'm just going to say Atletico and between Porto and Leverkusen.
Porto and Leverkusen will be very interesting because both teams are you can tell they're very attacking teams. And both teams go for it. And Atletico are going to defend their usual. And even Griezmann, Griezmann can't play more than 30 minutes a season.
Yeah, I've seen. Yeah.
How they signed that deal with Barcelona is beyond me. Like, and FIFA, I don't know how FIFA Financial Fair Play did not find Barcelona. Like, it's beyond me. Barcelona must have somebody that works in that office because if they're finding everybody and they're not finding Barcelona, it's beyond me. Because how can Atletico sign a deal that if you play Griezmann more than 30 minutes, you have to pay 40 million? So my guy is only playing maximum 30 minutes a game. And my guy looks depressed now. His hair is color green. Have you seen his hair? The guy's hair is green in color now. The guy's like, what the hell is going on? Like Barcelona wanted the guy to leave so bad that they are like, okay, we'll put this stipulation. We'll put this stipulation in your clause. So I'm betting you like Simone probably has somebody on his bench. As soon as he's getting 28 minutes, he will just
Stop
tell his
watch.
players, fall on the ground. Please, we need to bring Griezmann in. Ain't nobody paying 40 minutes.
You bring him on the 60th minute. If there's too much extra time, you bring him out. You bring him out
Exactly.
again.
Exactly. So for me, for that group, I actually don't think with Atletico, I actually don't think they will qualify from this group. I expect Leverkusen and Porto.
That's a hot take.
Yeah, that's the optic right there. I was going to come in because Leverkusen start hasn't been good. They played 5 and they've only won 1 out of 5, and they even lost today 3-2 because they loaned Otun-Udoi to we loaned Otun-Udoi to that team. Came in and made an assist for them within the first 4 minutes, but they haven't been good also. But that's one thing. That's one thing. Like for them not to be good now, then they can get to Champions League and turn up.
And wake up.
So it's 1 win in 5 for them. So they haven't, they haven't come out shooting. So yeah, so that's that.
So those are my 2 picks. I would say from that group. Atletico, I never really fancy them, but if they qualify from the group, I won't be shocked. But I think for me, my 2 picks would be Porto and Leverkusen.
We need to remember
to go to Europa.
I need to lock in this minute in case it comes through. I'm like, this guy's on some prophet teams. Group C, very interesting group. Bayern Munich, Barcelona, Inter Milan, and I believe it's a Czech club, Plzeň.
This is my favorite group.
Is it weird that I'm not as excited as I was for this group because Lukaku got injured?
I don't even care about Lukaku. I'm excited to see the Barcelona Bayern game.
Bayern?
Like I think Lewandowski should just get injured because Muller looks like he's ready to give them another 8-2. That's how motivated the Bayern team are.
This is a rejuvenated Barcelona. They're not going to go that easy. Skip, what do you think? You're mute.
Again, Bayern hasn't been good this season. Like I've seen 2 of their games, and I think they drew both. Yes, both games they
drew.
They
have 2 draws.
Yeah, they have 2. Okay, so those are the 2 games I watch. Unfortunately for them,
you're their bad luck. They were winning 7-0 and stuff before you started watching.
The 2 games I saw, they didn't get the win, so that's why I said. I guess I shouldn't watch it.
Don't watch them again, man. These guys have been scoring 5, 4, 6, 7.
But yeah, they haven't been good. The guy they spent 80-something million for doesn't look that good. From what team was it? Juventus. What was his name? Delight.
Delete?
Delete. They spent.
He's been a flop.
Guys are suspects.
Something flop. And I even remember during the chat, in the chat, I was like, God, don't let Chelsea sign this dude. Because again, I just don't rate him. Into they have a lot of things to figure out. Every central defender they've signed, even the guy they've signed from, is it RB Leipzig?
Upamecano?
No, the defender they signed. Oh yeah, Into he hasn't been good. What's the other? God, why am I forgetting all these people's name? They haven't just been good enough. Even if you look at the wingers they've signed, the Sané and all that, those guys too haven't. Okay, they've been decent.
What do you want them to do, man? They're scoring like 7 goals and thing. How much more goals do you want them to score?
But do you watch?
I watch the highlights.
They haven't been.
The only game I watched was their Super Cup.
I watched the Super Cup. They haven't been mind-blowing the way we expect them to be. But again, it's beginning of the season. Nobody wants to get injured for World Cup. That might be another, another thing behind these players' mind and all of that. But they haven't been good. So, but if I would say pick the 2 teams that will come out from that group, it's still Bayern and Barca.
Easy.
Yeah, I just don't have faith in Inter Milan in Champions League since Mourinho days. After Mourinho left, I just gave up on them.
Great one. Group D, quickly. Kachi, you think Spurs can make it out with Frankfurt, Sporting, and Marseille?
That's actually a tough group for Tottenham. I don't even know how to say it. It's actually a tough group because, Frankfurt, those guys, they won Europa last year. Those guys are not they are no name, like they don't have a big name, but those guys are ballers. Like they play as a unit, so that's going to be a tough game. Marseille just signed Sanchez, so
And that's
like
where Bailly went, right? Our
Bayern went
defender.
there as well. So
Okay.
like Marseille they have some talent there. So if they catch Spurs on an off night, they can definitely do them something. And also Sporting Lisbon, Portuguese teams are always hard to beat, especially in their hometown, right? So I think that's the one group where it's like, man, you better win your games.
Anything
Don't
can
be
happen, yeah.
No, like I think this is where that rule of where Skip said if you don't win your first 4 games, you're screwed. Because we know Spurs, as we start getting to that stage, if these guys have not cleaned up their group or especially won their home games, and you're now hoping that you want to go away and you need to win and hope for another team to lose, you're going to be going out. So for me, this is the group where it's like, man, just take your 3 points and you have to be deadly. And this is where I feel like if if Conte overtrained these guys, by the time you get to this part to the later half of the group stages, these guys will not be overfit. Because let's be honest, in Champions League, it's not by running 100 miles per hour. It's about being smart and being deadly and taking your chances. So for this group, I definitely, if I was to pick off the bat, I'll pick Eintracht Frankfurt and Tottenham. But this is the one group where I wouldn't be surprised if anything bad can happen.
This is actually a difficult group to guess what's going to happen, especially so far ahead before the season, even the league even starts. But we'll see how it goes. Conte better make it happen because this past week, he didn't play Kulu and Perisic because he was resting for Champions League, and it really negatively affected my fantasy. So those guys better come good in the Champions League.
And also Eintracht won 4-0 today, so they beat Leipzig 4-0. So the guys are they are desperately waiting for whoever they're gonna play for in Champions League first game. So those guys, their fan base, their fan base in Europa.
I saw them in the final.
It's like
I saw them when they played Barca, and I saw them in the final.
It's like the whole city of Frankfurt goes
turned up. These guys are shirtless. They're going in. Group E. AC Milan, Chelsea, Salzburg, Zagreb. I think I'm going to take Salzburg and Milan in this. What do you think, Kachi? I don't think Chelsea is pulling up. I think Chelsea is going to come last, and they're not even going to make it to Europa. Kachi, what are you saying?
No. I think in this group, Tuchel knows that. Yeah, you can be messing around in Premier League and be doing all this rubbish formation. When it comes to Champions League, if you mess up here. If Chelsea has not won their first 2 games, my guy will probably be fired. Like, he can't mess around in Champions League. He has to go and kill the game. Like, play your best team. Just go for it in Champions League, especially with Chelsea at home. So I think he knows that he can't mess around in this group.
It's been interesting to see.
Salzburg are a decent team, and Milan.
AC,
like that. Rafael Leao.
Exactly where I was going. Rafael Leao against these guys. Skip.
But if I would pick, I would say Chelsea and Milan are definitely going through.
Not
even up for debate. Chelsea, Milan.
Group F quickly. Real Madrid, Leipzig, Shakhtar, and Celtic. This is an easy one, I believe.
I believe Real Madrid and Shakhtar.
It's true. These guys are not doing well at all, eh?
No Leipzig.
They're not doing well at all.
People always write Shakhtar Donetsk off every group stage, and they always look for a way to make it up. So this time, I'm not just writing them. I'm not just. They always look for a way, even if it's that they're going to they will come back from 2-0 down. When you think they've lost, they will do that for some reason. I don't know how, but they always get it done. So I'm going to give them benefit of the doubt and just pick them over.
It's funny you're putting them over Leipzig because of the pedigree you think about them. Not that Leipzig isn't doing well so far this season at this time. But we do have to move on quickly. Group G, Man City, Sevilla, Dortmund, and Copenhagen. This should be City easily first.
City and Dortmund.
Every time you put your faith in them, they always seem to kind of...
I'm gonna pick Dortmund because I know Sevilla have missed the Europa League, so those guys want to go back to their favorite competition. Their coach is like, guys, we're coming third in this group. We're going back to Europa. We need to go back to our favorite European competition. So
I'm tired of this. And finally, PSG, Juve, Benfica, and Haifa. So this is obviously PSG, and
I do have another take here.
yes,
I'll say PSG and Benfica.
not Juve.
Not Juve.
Have you seen this guy recently, Vlahovic? This guy's low-key scoring them free kicks though.
But he's the only one playing well.
He's
the only one playing well.
He's the only one playing
Okay, sorry about that. And Bremer. Bremer have been a different kind of beast. Like,
I don't know who that is. Who's that?
the new central defender they picked from, is it Torino?
I definitely do not know him.
Yeah,
Interesting.
he was built like young Rudiger, but better than Rudiger was at this age.
Interesting.
Bremer has been
But
so
they're not
good.
playing
So,
well.
yeah. Okay, I saw their first game. They won 3-0.
Mm-hmm.
And they were good. But then after that, you expect them to kick off. And they just refused to. The coach is just
They
trying like...
refused.
because the coach is playing like every game is a new formation.
True.
He doesn't know what is going on. It's a new formation.
It's Allegri, right? This is second
Allegri,
year
yeah.
back.
Yeah.
Allegri, yeah. It's Allegri.
So I'll just bet on Benfica to get the job done.
Okay. So, like you guys said, it is difficult to predict these things so early on. We'll watch the space and see how it goes. With what Haaland is doing so far in the league, Neymar too is balling out in his league. I don't know. I really think it's going to come down to those two if they don't face each other. We have to shout out to Real Madrid. Everybody always looks over them and they always come good. Real Madrid. I'm very interested to see how Bayern and Barcelona are going to do. But for sure, my favorites are City, honestly.
Don't worry, Barcelona is going to implode. You wait.
Why do you guys want Barcelona to implode so much?
I don't want them to implode.
See, my Barcelona are my favorite club that I want to implode. I just want them to implode. No, because I remember for the longest time, Barcelona were the team that, they do football the right way. We scout from our scouting system. Okay, now exactly. So now La Masia is no longer producing anybody. And now these guys are they are owing people money and you're bullying people to leave your club. I bet you they hired that person that came to Aubameyang's house. Check. That person is a Barcelona fan.
It's in the account books. Check.
Oh my god! I can't believe you said that. But in all fairness, right? People only use the argument of we play soccer the right way when it fits the narrative. Because go look at all their history. There's a time when you have to spend money.
Easy.
Yeah,
that's just facts.
Everybody just use that explanation when it suits them and be like, we play this thing the right way. Then give them 10 years after the set of players gone. Then they start spending money.
Breaking records.
But we have to. Again, whatever you have to do to win, do it.
You gotta do it, man.
Exactly.
You gotta do it.
As far as your fans are winning, you're winning, and your fans are enjoying it. That's all that matters. Like, look at Arsenal. They do it the right way. Didn't they buy players now? How many players? Within the last 2 years, have they not gotten like an old new 11?
They have.
Where's they playing football the right way?
We'll let it just answer that for us. We do have to come to an end of the episode quickly. So I picked City to win. Do you guys remember the ones you picked in your predictions earlier in the season?
I picked Bayern. I still pick Bayern.
It's good.
I actually don't remember, but I think I picked Bayern. I believe I picked Bayern.
Guys, man, I have no. This is the year Pep is going to shut all his doubters up. I feel it. I feel it in my bones.
Yeah, it's been like that for the past 5 years.
I feel it in my bones.
Again, if you keep throwing it every year, he's going to stick out, right? So,
So I have to bring this episode to an end. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you, guys, for being on here. We do enjoy the Champions League. Hopefully, this week's Champions League is fire as always. Please remember to like, subscribe, follow the page on YouTube, Spotify, Twitter, and as always, continue to love football. Thank you, and have a lovely rest of your day.